Everybody, welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. So today I am posting this video on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. And so if you celebrate, I wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Okay, and let's see. So I'm going to be starting with this deck today, and then I'm going to follow up with this deck. So this is the Four Agreements, and this is the Untethered Soul. And this one is by Don Miguel Ruiz, and this one is by Michael A. Singer. All right, so first card on the top, I've already shuffled both decks. We're going to start with the Four Agreements one, which is create a beautiful dream. Oh, I love that. Your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. Impeccability of the word only creates beauty, love, and heaven on earth. Oh, I love that. Impeccability with our word and the power of it, right? Like how it can create for us. And I laughed when I was reading this because I was having this whole conversation with one of my daughters about complaining and how that depletes us and how it makes us feel it's a way of us giving away our joy, right? It brings us down in mood. It makes us feel low in mood. It makes us feel frustrated. And, complaining is, like something that we generally do kind of habitually, and we don't necessarily, stop to even think about it. It's just become, for most of us, just kind of like a natural way of expressing our discontent or our dislike for something or disapproval. And we find ourselves just saying what we don't like, almost like a matter of fact, but there's power in it, right? Because those statements will leave us feeling frustrated and depleted. And it doesn't bring us closer to where we want to be. And it also doesn't change what it is that we're responsible for, what is it that we need to face in that particular moment. It doesn't change it. It just prolongs it, So I was saying to her, it's like we have to decide. This was my daughter who I was speaking with. I said, we have to decide, right? How do we want to do this, and how do we want to get there, right? Do we want to do it in joy, or do we want to do it feeling yucky? And it's up to us, right? We can create that joy, that beauty for ourselves, or we can take that away by complaining and focusing on what we don't like, because it's not productive. That's not to say, by the way, that we can't dislike something, right? Noticing that, hey, this is really not my cup of tea, or I don't prefer this and I prefer this, and then thinking about, well, how can I create this for myself? Well, that's, a different thing than I don't like this, I don't want to do this, well, this makes no sense, well, blah, 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 and we just go on and on and on, right, about what we don't like and what we don't want. But it's just kind of going nowhere. It's just sharing this disapproval, but not getting somewhere with it. And so we end up just depleting ourselves and really killing our joy, as opposed to building our joy and as opposed to creating heaven on earth. So being impeccable with our word, right, is really important, because it's going to change how we experience life and how we experience any situation that we're dealing with at the moment. So yeah, we want to create a beautiful dream. And in order to do that, we have to shift away from complaining. So let's see, the next deck is from the next card is from the Untethered Soul. And the back of the card says Living Life. Sorry to see that, I think. Yeah, Living Life. And let's see, the message is, the Tao is in the middle. It's the place where there is no energy pushing in either direction. Oh, that makes me feel like we're just kind of just allowing. We're making space for what is. And that's what's necessary, instead of complaining. In other words, instead of shifting towards complaining, right, we want to make space for what is. Because when we do, we're letting go of resistance, and we're creating this peaceful experience, or allowing ourselves to still feel some joy despite whatever situation or responsibility or noise or conflicts are happening around us, right? Or we're experiencing. We're making room for it. And this also just reminds me of, making room for the spiritual nature of life. When we allow ourselves, right, to be in flow with our divine essence, as opposed to trying to change or forcefully change or what's in front of us, right? We allow ourselves to create a beautiful dream for ourselves because we're creating that peace for ourselves. So shifting from habitual complaints and creating more joy for ourselves is ultimately the message for today. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I think that about sums it up. And actually, before I end, I will say that I feel gratitude, right, as it is a day of, right, Thanksgiving and thinking of what we are grateful for. I'll say that I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to share these messages. They're inspired by whatever, comes to mind when I pick these cards, and it's just an honor to be able to do it. So I'm grateful for this moment in time. All right, so I'm going to end with that. You have a beautiful day. Bye for now.